Welcome to the Transformer Unicorn Tales. I'm Katie, your ever transforming host. This is a podcast about awesome transformations, food, for thought, and occasionally unicorns. I am so excited that you're here listening to this. Let's get started. Hello and welcome back to the Transformer Unicorn Tales podcast. I am so excited to do another season, and I want to start with explaining why I want to do this season. So, each time when I end the season, I'm like in this hole where I'm like, I think that was finished, so I don't know what to do next. And then once, I just get this like light bulb moment where I'm like, oh, I gotta share about that. Like, or I just run out of space on like my Instagram posts and I'm like, but I want to share more about this. And then that just gets bigger and bigger until a moment I'm like, okay, it's time to do a new season of the podcast. So that's the why. I always like think, is there enough that I want to share so that I can at least record a few episodes about something? And the why for this season is that I've run out of space to share about my business journey. So I want to share more about that with you because it's also a big transformation that is happening right now. But I feel like it's in a new phase for me. So I want to share about that in this season. Then next up, what you can expect this season is, first of all, you can see this on YouTube and parts of it on Instagram. And what I try to do each season is to think, how can I make the podcast better in general? How can I improve the podcast, the quality of the recordings, for example? So I am using my actual microphone instead of just my phone. So previous seasons were recorded just with my phone. I just held my phone up to my mouth and I was just recording. And this season I am using my microphone that I also use to teach yoga classes and stuff like that. If you're interested, it's the Rode Wireless Go 2. Just a second. Anyways, so this season there will be video, so you can watch the episodes also on YouTube. And I'm really excited about it because now I can like look at myself when I record and not just at my notes. I am aware of how my eyes are. If you were not yet, get used to them. This is what they do. They jump back and forth, and I'm totally fine with it. And if you're just listening to the podcast, it's like as it was before. You don't see me, but what I do is now I look at myself, look at my camera, and look at my notes and do things while I'm also recording video. Yeah, so that's the new addition this season, that I will be also recording video, and I'm using my better microphone. I'm really excited about this. And if you're wondering like why, because I know that some people actually prefer to listen to podcasts and like watch podcasts on YouTube, and because I want to do maybe more with my YouTube channel next year. So I thought, why not start with something that I already know, which is like podcasting, but then just add visuals to it. So you can see my hand movements as I record. And then what else can you expect? The episodes are not scheduled. I'm not on a schedule just as of this moment, as of this recording. So I cannot promise when exactly the next episode will drop because as of this recording, I have 1 more month of work and then I'm going on a little bit of a longer vacation, which means I just don't know if I will be recording in that vacation, if I will be sharing anything in that vacation. I'm tired. I just need a moment. But I really felt excited to get started with the podcast, so that's why I'm doing this episode now. And then we'll see. And if there will be a schedule, I will share about that, of course. I decided that what cost me a lot of time in previous seasons was editing the podcast. Like I felt like the need, to remove a lot of the a lot of the little bloopers that I was making. And, it took me like forever to just remove like these 1 second bits and pieces. to make sure that you don't have to listen to me saying too often or something like that. And this season, I'm not going to do that anymore. So it's going to be just one take, one cut. If there's something like going terribly wrong, then I might remove that. But besides that, I'm just going to record this and then publish so that I can share the things as I go without like, pretending that it's perfect. So I also want to share this season that nothing is as perfect as it might seem, right? So like especially with like videos these days, there's like this AI stuff. I'm also not removing my background. This is my house. This is my house right now. So I'm not going to use like a green screen or whatever. And I'm not going to remove me saying because that's how I speak. People don't just like rattle off things, I think. Or maybe I just have to get better at it. I don't know. But I cannot just rattle off things and then be like, bam, here you go. Maybe it comes with practice. We'll see. And what I will be sharing about this season is, I already mentioned it, is my business journey. So, like, how what I'm going through, what thoughts I have, and how I deal with them, because that's a big part of business. And if you're thinking, oh, but I was here for that personal things, the previous seasons, they are also still very personal. Like, even if you are not a yoga teacher, if you're not an entrepreneur, if you don't have a business, these can be still valuable because it's really more about the mindset shifts that can happen in other things as well. And what I also notice, like all the time, is that I'm thinking, I'm so good with keeping track of my money, for example, in my personal life, but I suck at it in my business. So I'm like, that's a personal skill that you can also use in business. But I will be just now more sharing from that business side. And then you can put it into the personal stuff as well. Yeah, and what I wanted to do as last thing for this episode is to just give you like a little update for like what happened since the last season went and happened in the summer. So last season I was sharing from my position as a yoga teacher. I am not just a yoga teacher anymore. I have found that I talked about this in the past, like when I was talking about my transformations. I told you how I was working with a lot of numbers and I needed more people stuff. So that's how I kind of shifted to coaching to yoga. And now I discovered that yoga is a lot of people stuff and I miss the technical stuff, the computer, like just sitting behind my computer stuff. So what I'm also doing is not just teaching yoga, but also helping other yoga teachers with their technical stuff. So their websites, their Instagrams, their whatever email stuff, just like any technical things that they might need help with, I help them with that because that's what I like actually really enjoy. And I love the topic because it's yoga, right? So yeah, it has been awesome because I have created some really cool things with other yoga teachers. And I love what I do because yoga teachers are like very a specific kind of people. We very care about each other. So it's never like, can you just like before I was also freelancing like this to like help people with building their websites and stuff. But sometimes it really felt like I was just a robot, performing tasks. Because you just kind of get the assignment, like, make this page by next week, and then you just do it, and then you send it back, and they go like, great job, thanks, and then you just get paid. And what I have now is like real connections with other teachers, and it's way more amazing. It's not just, make me this page, but it's like, I will be back next week. Do you want to join my class? This is what I'm going through. And it's way more connected. And I really love that about this. More on a personal side, last season I recorded in Slovenia. Since then, I'm back in the Netherlands again. So if you are watching the YouTube thing or the Instagram video, also I just realized the Instagram will be like a short piece of this thing, so you will not see the whole thing. And I will probably not put exactly this piece on Instagram. Anyways, you will see this on YouTube. this is my new house in the Netherlands. It's a caravan in a camping, and I absolutely love it. It came with its own challenges. I might make an episode about that because that's a whole different journey. But yeah, I'm back in the Netherlands. I might also do an episode about that actually, because I don't think I share that in much detail anywhere. Yeah, and besides that, I'm fine. I'm just tired. It's like the end of the year and I'm ready to just kind of start to hibernate and be done with things. But also I felt like there was like so much stuff that is like happened in my life and in my business that I just wanted to like share it in the podcast. Like it's been like bubbling for months now. And I was like, you gotta start the podcast. And so I just thought, okay, let's do this. Um yeah, so before I wrap this episode up, I just wanted to share one more thing, which is that if you'd like to get business updates from me with my numbers and with like really honest and heart, like coming from my heart messages about my business, I do that once a month in a monthly newsletter where I just share what happened um, in that month in my business, share my exact numbers, share how I felt about the things that I've been doing, and then give you a business tip. So what I learned that month or what was like really helpful for me that month. So if you would like to get that monthly email, you can sign up for it and it's probably down below. So I have to get used to the YouTube stuff and I have to get used to like where to point people on all the platforms, but it's probably somewhere down below. There's a link, and then you can just join the monthly yoga biz emails. And I say yoga biz, so that's because my business is still in the yoga world. But yeah, it's for anyone who just wants to know my numbers, who just wants to know what's going on behind the scenes. And yeah, I think that's it for this episode. And maybe one more thing that I just forgot to point out. I do want to keep this interactive. So the episodes that I will be sharing will be sometimes also maybe a little bit like my opinions about stuff. And then I would love to hear from you back, right? So in previous episodes, if you're new here and you're thinking like, what? I don't know you. We will get to know each other. And in previous episodes, I also had lovely friends or now friends because we've been talking who have been reacting to the podcast episodes. And I absolutely love that because otherwise it's just me talking to my microphone and to my screen and yeah, just sharing it out into the world and like getting likes or something. But yeah, I love when actually people, you know, like also send me their opinions, their thoughts about the episodes. So I don't know if you have really thoughts about this episode, but maybe you do. So you can already send me that. And if you're wondering where, there's like always a comment stuff on all the platforms. And you can also DM me on Instagram. You can also find my Instagram down somewhere as a link. And yeah, I just love to be like in conversation, in connection with you as I do this. And also feel free to ask any questions or if you have like special requests for episodes, let me know. And then I think it's time to wrap up this first episode. And I will see you next time. I think you're awesome.